Welcome to Money Decoded, where we break down personal finance, one concept at a time. Let's decode today's topic. I want to tell you a story about the most expensive mistake of my life. It wasn't a bad investment. It wasn't a luxury purchase I couldn't afford. It was a $63 bill that I simply forgot to pay. That one oversight cost me nearly $70,000 over the next 30 years. And it can happen to anyone, including you. Let me take you back to where this started. I had a credit score of 742. That's a solid score, well into the good range, almost touching excellent territory. I had worked for years to build that number. I paid my bills on time every single month. I kept my credit card balances low. I did everything right, or so I thought. Then life got busy. I was in the middle of moving to a new apartment. Between packing boxes, coordinating with movers, and handling the chaos of relocation, a single bill slipped through the cracks. It was a medical bill for $63 from a routine checkup. The kind of bill that arrives, gets set aside, and somehow disappears into a stack of papers on your desk. Here's what we're covering today. Exactly what happened when I missed that payment, the devastating impact on my credit score, the real dollar cost of that mistake over 3 decades, and most importantly, the 5 strategies I now use religiously to make sure this never happens again. Let's decode my costly mistake so you can avoid making the same one. Before we begin, a quick disclaimer. This content is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. Please consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any financial decisions. The bill sat there unpaid for 31 days. Not 60 days, not 90 days, just 31 days past the due date. That's when the medical provider reported the late payment to all 3 credit bureaus. I didn't even know it had happened until I checked my credit score the following month. When I logged into my credit monitoring app, I felt my stomach drop. My score had fallen from 742 to 643. I had lost 99 points overnight. Almost 100 points gone because of a single $63 bill that I had simply forgotten about. The money wasn't the issue. I had plenty in my account to cover it. The issue was that I didn't have a system in place to catch it before it was too late. Let me explain why the damage was so severe. Payment history makes up 35% of your entire credit score. It's the single most important factor in the calculation. When you miss a payment by 30 days or more, it gets reported as a delinquency. The bureaus treat this as a major red flag. It signals to lenders that you might be a risky borrower, even if it was an honest mistake. The timing couldn't have been worse. I was planning to refinance my mortgage within the next few months. Interest rates had dropped significantly, and I had been looking forward to lowering my monthly payment. With a score of 742, I would have qualified for an excellent rate around 3.5%. But now, with a score of 643, everything changed completely. I no longer qualified for the best rates. In fact, I barely qualified for refinancing at all. The lender I was working with said they could offer me a rate of 5.2% instead. That difference of 1.7% might not sound like much, but let me show you what it actually costs over time. On a $300,000 mortgage over 30 years, the difference between 3.5% and 5.2% adds up to approximately $68,000 in additional interest payments. Let me say that again. $68,000. Because I forgot to pay a $63 bill. That's over 1,000 times the original amount. That's the true cost of one missed payment. I couldn't refinance. I had to wait. And waiting meant continuing to pay my higher original interest rate while I worked to rebuild my score. Every month that passed was money lost, opportunities missed, and frustration mounting. During those 18 months, I watched friends and colleagues refinance their mortgages and save hundreds per month. I saw car loan rates drop and couldn't take advantage. I even delayed applying for a new credit card with better rewards because I knew I wouldn't qualify for the best offers. That single mistake didn't just cost me money, it locked me out of opportunities that could have accelerated my financial progress. The recovery process was slow and painful. Credit scores don't bounce back quickly from late payments. That derogatory mark would stay on my credit report for 7 full years. While the impact lessens over time, it never fully disappears until it ages off your report completely. It took me 18 months of perfect payment history to climb back to 740. 18 months of obsessively checking every bill, setting multiple reminders, and living in fear of making the same mistake twice. And even then, I was still 2 points below where I had started before the missed payment. During those 18 months, I developed a system that I now follow religiously. These are the 5 strategies that ensure I will never miss another payment for as long as I live. If you take nothing else from this video, please implement these strategies starting today. Strategy number 1. Auto-pay everything. I set up automatic payments for every single recurring bill I have. Credit cards, utilities, insurance, subscriptions, everything. For credit cards, I set auto-pay to pay the full statement balance, not just the minimum. For other bills, I set it to pay the full amount due. Auto-pay is your first and most important line of defense against forgotten payments. Strategy number 2. Calendar reminders 3 days before every due date. Even with auto-pay enabled, I set calendar reminders for every bill. Why 3 days before? Because it gives me time to ensure there's enough money in my account, verify that autopay is still properly configured, and catch any bills that might not be on autopay yet. I use my phone's calendar with notifications that I cannot ignore. Strategy number 3. Credit monitoring alerts. I signed up for credit monitoring services that alert me immediately if anything changes on my credit report. If a late payment gets reported, I want to know about it within hours, not weeks. Many banks and credit card companies offer free credit monitoring now. There's no excuse not to have this enabled on all your accounts today. Strategy number 4. Monthly financial review sessions. On the first Sunday of every month, I sit down for 30 minutes and review all my accounts. I check that every bill was paid, verify upcoming due dates, and look for any unfamiliar charges or bills I might not recognize. This monthly ritual catches anything that might slip through the cracks before it becomes a real problem. Strategy number 5. Call immediately if you realize you've missed a payment. If you discover that you've missed a payment, don't wait. Call the creditor immediately. Many creditors will waive late fees and agree not to report the late payment to the bureaus if you pay right away and have a good history with them. The key is acting fast, ideally before 30 days have passed since the due date. Here's what I wish someone had told me before my $63 mistake. Your credit score is not just a number. It's a key that unlocks financial opportunities throughout your life. A high score means lower interest rates on mortgages, car loans, and credit cards. It means better insurance premiums and easier apartment approvals. It means thousands of dollars saved over your lifetime. A single late payment can undo years of responsible financial behavior in an instant. The bureaus don't care that you've paid on time for a decade. They don't care that it was an honest mistake. They don't care that you had the money and simply forgot. All they see is that one late payment, and they adjust your score accordingly. The good news is that this mistake is entirely preventable. With the right systems in place, you never have to experience what I went through. Autopay, reminders, monitoring, monthly reviews, and quick action when mistakes happen. These 5 strategies form an impenetrable defense around your credit score. I learned my lesson the hard way, paying $68,000 for a $63 education. You don't have to make the same mistake. Take 30 minutes today to set up these systems. Future you will be incredibly grateful that you did. Here's what I want you to do before this video ends. Pick up your phone and set up autopay on every single account that doesn't have it. That one action could save you from the $68,000 mistake I made. It takes 5 minutes. Do it now. Now, next time on Money Decoded, we're tackling the lies you've been told about credit. Closing old cards helps your score? Wrong. Checking your credit hurts it? Wrong. Carrying a balance builds credit? Dangerously wrong. These myths are costing Americans billions. $63 nearly destroyed my financial future. Don't let a forgotten bill destroy yours. And that's how this works. If this helped you understand money better, subscribe for weekly financial deep dives. Thanks for watching.